13F season is upon us again, where we get to look over the shoulders of the world's best investors to see what they've been buying and selling over the most recent quarter. In today's video, we're going to be looking at what Warren Buffett has been buying and selling within Berkshire Hathaway over the most recent quarter. We're going to start off by having a look at what he's been selling and reducing in, and then we'll finish up with what he's been buying in over this most recent quarter. Right, with that said, let's crack straight into it. We can see that Warren Buffett has reduced out of 7 positions and sold out of 3 positions. So he's reduced his position with US Bank Corp by 1.92%, Visa by 4.26%, and also MasterCard by 6.05%. He's reduced his position with Bristol Myers Squibb by 16.15%, Charter Communications by 19.43%, and reduced his position by AbbVie by 29.86%, and finishing up with reducing Marsh McLean by 34.67%. Now, these don't make up a huge chunk of his portfolio, but now we're going to jump in and have a quick look over what he sold out of entirely over the most recent quarter. So at the top of the list here, we can see that he has sold out of Merck & Co. entirely, and he's been reducing this position over these last 3 quarters. We can see he only brought into Merck & Co. back in 2020 of Q3, where he originally brought into the position. He added some more in Q4, and then over the last 3 quarters he has been selling out. Now he's entirely out of position with Merck & Co. Second on the list is Liberty and Global Inc. Now this is a company he's had in the portfolio for a number of years. He originally bought back into this in 2014 of Q1 at $40.71, give or take, and now he's reduced his position in Q2 of this year, and now he's sold out entirely of that position in Q3. And lastly on the list, we can see that he has sold out of Organon & Co., which he only recently bought into this position in Q2 of this year, and now he's sold out of that position entirely. So he's only held that position for not even 6 months. So those are the sales that Warren Buffett's been doing over the most recent quarter. Now we're going to jump in and have a look at what he's been buying or adding to over the most recent quarter as well. He has been selling a lot more than he has been buying. Maybe he's not finding as much value out there at the moment in the current market, where markets are at all-time highs. But he has added to his Chevron position in the most recent quarter by adding 24.13% to his position which now is taking up to 0.99% of the total portfolio. So it's just shy of that 1%. This is currently his 13th largest position within the portfolio. We saw him buying into Chevron Corp back in Q3 of 2020, and then he added to it in Q4. But funnily enough, over Q1 and Q2 of this year, he was reducing that position. So I'm not too sure what's changed his mind there. Now this may be Ted or Todd that may be moving this as well. We're not too sure, but it's interesting to see that he has been adding to it over the most recent quarter. Now, one of the first positions that he has brought into over the most recent quarter was Royalty Pharma. Now, this is a new position for the portfolio, and it's only 0.16 of the portfolio, so it's not a big chunk of the portfolio. But look, pharmaceutical companies are not in my circle of confidence. I don't understand them. I don't invest in them. But obviously Warren does. He knows a bit more than I do about this sort of thing, so he obviously sees value there. So he's brought into that position recently. And then if we move over to the last company that he's bought into, and that is Floor & Decor Holdings. This is making up 0.03% of the portfolio. So if we just have a very quick high-level look over Floor & Decor, we can see over the last 10 years they've grown their revenue quite substantially. 2011, their top-line revenue was $276 million. Now if we fast forward that to 2020, they're coming in at $2.4 billion. Also very good consistent gross margins, around the 40% gross margins over the last 10 years. And also operating margins seem to be hovering around that 7-8%, which is some of the things that Warren Buffett likes to see in businesses that he invests in, is very consistent margins. Also, if we look at it on an earnings per share basis, 2011 they were earning 8 cents per share. Now if we fast forward that to 2020, they're coming in at $1.84 in earnings per share. Now if we just have a quick look over the 10-year median returns, the return on assets is 5.4%, return on equity is 14.3%, and return on invested capital is 7.8%. So after just doing a very high level look at Floor & Decor, to me it doesn't seem overly attractive or very cheap at current prices, but I can see why Warren Buffett is interested in the company, or may not be Warren Buffett, could be Ted or Todd, one of Warren Buffett's offsiders. They manage, I think, around $10 billion each, so they could have been buying into this position as well, but it's still falling under the Berkshire Hathaway umbrella. So overall, nothing too crazy to report on for this most recent quarter for Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway. We can see there he's reducing a few positions, sold out of a few, and added a couple of very small positions to the portfolio. So like I said, nothing sort of major going on. No big news to report on out of Warren Buffett's most recent quarter. But with that said, if you did enjoy today's video, please do us a favor, hit that like button, helps me out a ton, helps push these videos out a bit further. And if you did enjoy it and you're not currently subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date when the next video drops. Till next time, stay safe and we'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, guys.